And we're back, everyone. Last time, we found out that we had done something rather unfortunate with our car. This time, just check. I feel like this list has actually gotten shorter. That's nice to know. Well, time to go and find a bunch of new tasks in the fishing village. I should probably unequip the smacking tool. Re-equip the bag, since that'll let me pick things up. And you can't even see them to pick up without it. Footprints, eh? Who could it be? Seems the walker was either very confused or drunk out of his mind. Yeah, doesn't resemble anyone we know. There's a boat tucked away underneath the tarpaulin cover. Hello. It's free plastic. I am going into a cabin. The door's open, so it's fine. Random postcard. A bow knot for +2 drama. You're sure wearing this tie is a statement? You're not sure what kind of statement, though. I mean... damn. We're starting to unlock the powerful clothes. I see a dark red chair in the dim light of the room. Let's look at the postcard. This postcard depicts a forest of smokestacks releasing fat plumes of smoke into blue, cloudless sky. The tinge of age, the colour of old teeth, gives it a sickly look. Written on the back is a single sentence, repeated twice. I got out. I got out. No addressee. It's only a red chair. Just a red chair in an empty shack, with what looked like a dusty bow tie on the shelf. Nothing to see here, right? Yeah, again, where are we? In someone's abandoned shack, on the coast, in Martinez. He looks at you, in Revachol. What's with the red chair? Nothing, it's just a piece of furniture. He looks at the chair, gathering dust. Red paint is peeling off it. Looks like blood, no? What's with the red bow tie? It's just a piece of clothing you've picked up. You do that, officer. You collect clothes sometimes. He sounds a little worried. It's an odd habit. Don't be worried, Lieutenant. Clothes are therapeutic. You better not fucking think about ditching me for some shitty cum-stained bow tie. You and I are gearing up for the final showdown that's going to be off all the walls. You wait and see. Your necktie sounds very scared. Never take it off. Yes, agreed. You should never take your necktie off. Ever. Alright, let's move. I think what we've learned here is that it's very important that I have the necktie on. I don't think I missed anything there. Let's go. Through the broken glass, dusty shelves, and a forgotten chair. Huh. Well, spoilers, that's what's actually in there, so... Sounds of life in the north. A washboard scrums filth from fabric. Scrums. Been a while since I've heard that word used in that sense. Cinder blocks, charred, A makeshift fire pit with magazines for lighting. The bushes are too thick and thorny to pass through. Rude. The bench. The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting. We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go. Oh, the tutorial agent is telling me that I can pass time at night by sitting on benches. I feel like I have resolved one of the questions I had about this game. Interinsulary trousers. +1 to Kingdom of Conscience. Tailored trousers in light brown, moderate in every aspect. They're absolutely unremarkable. In other words, perfect. I mean, seems like a good change out to me. I haven't done much with electrochemistry unless it's... These are some wonderfully regular pants. Not too tight, not too loose. Moderate in every sense. You'll blend right in at some pleasant dinner party. I like regular normal things. I know you do. These interinsular pants are like wearing a perfect compromise in your nether regions. No one will call a moral intent on you like this, that's for sure. You're a little more moralist now, buddy. A little more normal, even if you didn't want to be. Makes sense. This is what wearing boring office trousers does to you. I think I was basically being told not to do that. But losing savoir-faire or reaction speed actually seems bad. Kingdom of Conscience is clearly a hidden stat. It doesn't appear on our stat board. See dust-covered linens. Dry tulips on a bed. Oh no, I can go down from the other side, never mind. White curtains have been drawn shut. No looking in. A wetting stone, well worn and covered in rust. This person's saying they haven't seen the RCM around for ages, so clearly they're interested in us. So we should talk to them first. What are these doing in the fish? Boots, eh? Aye, officer. A woman in a raincoat stands on the quay, considering an overturned boat. A sword and a scabbard hangs from her hip. Anything I can help you with? This is a good accent. Not necessarily one that I can do, but a good one. That depends. Where are we exactly? Elicible. It's sometimes called Elicible.
The sign on the street leading here is illegible.
Has been since they built this place. I have questions. The first is, what's your name?
My name's Lily. People call me Netclicker. I think I have time for questions, and that was actually the second one.
It was actually the second one. I can just fall back on West Country. Hey, ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice. I still don't know what voices to give suggestion of relation very well. Well, I get to make them up, so... Nice sword. Does it come with a story? Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly. Hold on, you know how to use it? Not really. I know some basic moves, and I know it sure as hell beats a knife when you're in a tough spot. It's getting American West Country accents often do. Of course, this is to do with the history of colonialism in the United States of America, but it is imposing. It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation. Why do you need intimidation tactics? From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men, and believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. Can I borrow that sword? What would I want it for? Why don't more women arm themselves if it's so effective? What makes you think we haven't? Oh, God, that's not wrong. What makes you think we haven't? Yeah, the truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. Tractor. Too dull for that. That goes for men too, but they put on an act... Oh, for fuck's sake, I've lost it completely. Place is called Isabel. No. Place is called Isabel. That goes for men too, but they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that. That does not go for real men. It does not go for you. Show her the wonder. Should I point to the expression? Of course I should point to the expression. Her eyes meet yours and suddenly she starts laughing. It's hoarse, as if she hasn't laughed in a while. Not bad. Do you like it? Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield. So where are all the men now? Some went to patch their wounds. A lesson learned. Others were all thick-headed. And one of them I ended up marrying. Wait, why? If they're thick-headed, guess I enjoyed the way you bled. The expression doesn't change. It's hard to say if it's a joke. If it is, then why the melancholy? Where's your husband now? Gone. Gone where? To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago. God. What was her actual voice like? It was like a British country accent. Place is called Elizabeth. Mostly this place is called Elizabeth. It just sounds wrong. I've got to stop just doing the self-critique thing. This isn't getting the game on with. Oh. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago and I have moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles. She really liked those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy. Time really is the best cure for sorrow. Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bed sick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and God. It went on. She glanced at the village where 2 little kids playing with what looked like rocks. Life didn't really change much for me and the kids. This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action. Suggestion, heroic. But I'd have a pretty good chance if Kim weren't here and I knew somewhere to go. Whether that's a good idea or not, I'm not sure. The horrific necktie thinks it's the right thing to do, which makes me think it's the wrong thing to do. But, you know, what are you supposed to do with the game if not dick around and do stupid things? I don't think there's one. Maybe you can help. Let's see, who you're looking for. Some of the missing cryptozoologists. Ugh. I don't think I know what those are. Care to elaborate? I don't think I don't... I don't think you're gonna be here all day, Dirdle. Come on. People who look for animals mainstream scientists deny exist. Aha, like snowmen. I remember those. Two odd guys been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like. Wait, the like? Right, not only snowmen, also green men, monkey men, burning rhinos. You get the picture. I don't rightly know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides Snow? Why can't I do like Derbyshire accent? That's it, I'm not looking for anyone else right now. What do you do around here? Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff. Is that enough to make a living? Sometimes I also walk the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises. This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now. Interesting, what have you found? Wood. Pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. He looks at the beach and continues. Bottles, drugs, lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass. Mines! Mines! You need mines! I mean... I need to know about those human bodies. Well, you're backing under the wrong tree then, officer. I have no interest in floaters. Seen enough of them in my life already. A very unattractive bunch. Yeah, maybe steer clear of the things reminding her of the floaters she used to be married to. Just saying. So I take it that's your skiff. Sure is. The Sun, I call her. Coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue. Sunny days? Aye. She looks at the snow melt in the water. Sunny days. You got a problem with that? No, ma'am. We have no quarrel with sunny days. Good. It would have been bad news if it turned out like it was on a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the nets, bad news for the kids. There's a moment's silence. She looks at the slushy snow melt on the yellow belly of the boat. When do you think the boat will be ready? In time. When the sea turns and the wind settles, she will be ready. Waves wash the sand. A skiff moves across the mirror-smooth sea far away from here. A lone passenger. A fast sloop in the distance. White sails. So if we ask her about the signature, will she sign it immediately, thereby denying us the opportunity to forge it, or will we get the opportunity to tell her not to? Let's ask it. Item lost. Were you? This says by signing I agree to living with construction noise. What exactly is the Union building? Everard's planning to turn some of the village into a youth centre. What a nice idea. Wouldn't have thought that... Thought what exactly? That Everard and the Union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves. Well, I guess Union members have children too. On second thought, don't sign that just yet. If you say so. Probably better that way. I mean, who likes construction noise? I'm seeing you. Okay, so we haven't made much progress on... Did we just nick her boots? I mean, I guess we did, but... we need them. For reasons. Good old calf-length cavalry boots. Mount that horse and ride into the night. A heel comes in handy too. Definitely makes you some good 5 centimeters taller, but could be also making you sharper, more perceptive to your surroundings now you've gained a new perspective. This seems very implausible. And do I really want to lose the heels, the green snake skin shoes that have... I honestly kind of like the snakeskin shoes more. Minus savoir-faire is a bit annoying, but composure seems to come up a little more often. I will take your plastic away for you. I'm helping you, so it's okay that I nicked your boots. And I'm not even going to wear them. You can't actually open containers after you've emptied them, so you can't, like, put things back. There's writing on that roof. Allez-vous-en. Allez-vous-en. Construction material. Whoever planned to build this house left in a hurry. I mean, it's hard to deny that building something over here would be good, but... apparently I have the ability to retry that check with Kim. I think it gives them exclamation marks when you can retry them. What do I want if I want to max out logic? So I need to change those glasses for a start. Oh, we're actually even better. I don't think there's anything else. Oh, you get +1 for the sorry cop. Is it for... yeah, I haven't actually finished thinking it. Even odds. And I could blaze it for a little more. Yeah. What am I going to do with my life if not? Smoke a truly dangerous quantity of cigarettes. But that is an actual question, as I do need the health. I guess I could save it for a point where I need another blue check, and then do that. But then if I make them too long, I might lose this thought, and then... ouch. Ouch, oof, owie, my health. Gives you that big boost though to 72%. What is the enemy? Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to slight Precinct 57. Yeah, that makes more sense than the other stuff I thought of. Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late and argues with his necktie. You weren't sent here to win. Kim, what if my precinct sent me here on this case because I'm a fuck-up? Like, as a joke? I've considered it. His voice is somber. So it's true. It would be immensely ugly of them, not to mention unprofessional, but I also think it's somewhat unlikely. Why's that? I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez. I think yes, both stations would prefer a win. Ha, so you are their finest. I am the finest of nothing. You really see me as a safe bet? Safe? No, but you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet, but it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke, and even if they did, they are in for a surprise. I got my morale for it, so... He's right. There are no airtight theories, just paranoia. You've given it some thought, now let it go. Murder at the hookah parlour. Murder, at the hookah parlour was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlour. Wait, how? Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos? I'm gonna guess it's Villalobos gang members. When him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the hookah parlour. Right, on with the murder. Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve. Was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister. Was on it for like a month. The captain got impatient. Shit, I'll get off the pot, Mills. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlour. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had. Wait, was Joseph Mills a good cop? No, he was awful. Awful sense of humour, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. That the murderer vanished into thin air. That goddamn hookah parlour was all he talked about. Go on. Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere. And you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlour. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum flavoured vapour all day. Can you get high off it? No, it's soot and water vapour, it doesn't do anything. Really stupid. Yeah. So anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlour. In the middle of the day. No one else is in there. Only client that day. In perfect health too, some kind of movie producer. No one enters, no one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then, bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened? How can it be? Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin. Movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlour. You see cushions around the table. Table's low, heavy, really sharp edge. He sucked hookah, stood up, passed out, hit his head on the table and died. See, you can't even read this thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply. You don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom. He must have sucked a lot of it. Yeah, he liked his hookah. Stephen was his name. What was he doing there for 6 hours? Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlour. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together. Next. I'm going to revisit this. Oh, it was a fun way to spend some time, I suppose. It's locked, but it's highlighted to suggest that I could bust it open with my crowbar. Inside the cosy sound of some kind of heater sputtering. I'd really rather not break open someone's front door. You know? Can I not just fucking knock? This person might not speak not English, whatever it is we're speaking. The woman next to a bucket of clothes hums an odd melody. Her eyes are closed.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts. Da 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 da. Da da da. If you can't see, then how do you know it's...
Have a golden ear. Come.
Come. Lean forward.
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble either. And we don't want any trouble either.
We are not here to cause any trouble, brother.
Trouble? Say the second thing again, Bratan. Shows you got style. What he said. We're cops. We don't cause trouble, we take care of trouble.
Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Which you did. That's in Martinez. you're
Wish you
considered
did.
an ill omen.
Wait, I've been here before.
Not you personally. I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another. Locked himself in that woodshed over there.
She points to the building behind her.
He was wounded, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place. Somewhere more private.
What kind of ill omen are we talking about?
Dark tigers, black hound.
That's you, all right. A black hound licking your own heels. I am an ill omen, all right.
No one around here considers us an ill omen. People would have told us.
I like that he's saying the exact thing that was my other option.
Maybe you're afraid.
Why?
Because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here, as long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then, because that's the kind of fishing village we build. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage. And not a lot of houses. Or a lot of people. My kids are long gone, searching for treasure. So are others. Ah, look at me rambling. What brings you to us?
Why could someone stay around here? Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack. Her soapy thumb points to the building behind her. How much is it? I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM. I like that I can complain about Gart. Wait, hold on, you're just giving it to me? No one is using it, and God knows it's not much anyway. You can stay there. There's this guy, Gart, who makes me give him money every night just so I don't die out in the cold. That's exactly how they get ya. That's why we built our own cinder block houses on the seaside, so we don't have to give money to those crooks. They might not look like much, but they are ours. Wait, why isn't anyone using the room? My kids grew up and left, like they do. The house is long empty now. I live in the small side attachment. It's easier and cheaper to keep warm. You got yourself a tenant. Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police. A key appears from under her apron. She hands it to you. Well, if you're not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. He looks around and adds, here, in a shack. He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room. Should he? This environment encourages one thing and one thing only, drinking. Finally, you have those lamos of Martinez off your back, Britann. This looks like a great place to bring chicks. No horrific necktie. It is not. Also, if I'm not going back to the whirling in rags, how will I get to sing karaoke? That's important. And I might never pass the mirror check to make the expressions stop happening. But hey, at least I'm no longer getting taxed 20 real a day. Means I can buy more books. And drugs. I mean... clothes. I can buy those pants. I can buy those sneakers. To be less of a dork. What's in this fishing village? Just us. She sounds tired. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist. What do you mean? This is pretty much a lone place. A gap. A blank spot on the map. Just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street. There's got to be something here. Tell me. She waves her hand southwest. Over there you can find more of the same. Shacks and trees growing wild. That's the pox. Between here and Jamrock, a dusty sea of old trees, all covered in industrial soot. Small houses under them. An overgrown park. The pox, what's that? An old military hospital and its surroundings. She looks towards the buildings to the south. Or it used to be during the time of the suzerain. After the war it was turned into a goodwill hospital for shell-shocked veterans and folks looking for some quiet in the old sanatorium gardens. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets and makeshift cinder block houses. Shacks as far as the eye can see. What happened to the hospital? The goodwill ran out. She tightens the scarf around her neck. The staff left and the place was shut down. It's long gone by now. Who else lives in this village? Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east, but they're away right now. And then there's the drunks. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them. I met Lillian already. Lillian is tough. Tougher than the men here, at least. If it wasn't for her and the kids, this place wouldn't have a spark of life left. I haven't seen any drunks yet, though. Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. Don't have to look long to find those guys. I just need a mirror, right? There, way to make a little running around here. Here, for you? No, officer. The only money we have here is some coins the drunks tried hiding from their women, and then forgot about. Alright, there's another topic I'd like to address. Tell me about yourself. Who exactly are you here? Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isobel, if that's what you're asking, and my married name is Sadie. Now it's your turn, Mr... call me Harry. Why, I guess I will, Harry. It just rolls off the tongue. I used to know Harry. Strong lad, but dumb as a rock. What happened to him? He did too many narcotics, so many he fell off his boat and split his skull on a buoy. Oh, actually, she might say buoy. Buoy. She rubs soap off her hands. Folks who saw it say his head cracked open like a melon. Nasty, nasty. What's further down the coast? Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even. Why is it abandoned? Some things just don't fly, officer. She smiles a gap-toothed smile and smells the air. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then. So they don't hold services. There anymore. The ecclesiastes. No, they've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church. I kind of feel bad doing this, like, a sort of vaguely bigoted voice, but her actual voice earlier was just sort of generically weird and foreign. I'm pretty sure it's someone else putting on an accent, so... She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking. I get the feeling you're leaving stuff out. What else is going on? Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting even through the nights. And now suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that. Interesting. You could look into this ruckus if you have the time. Perhaps the mysterious music is somehow connected to the case. A Rusalka or a half-demonic Apsara singing. What else is down on the coast? Before you get to the church, there's some ruins. An apartment complex or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses empty. Which is it then? Apartments or electrical plant? I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. I was born in Samara. Anything else of note? Of note? The old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's closed. Who'd want to come to a fish market here? No one. That's why it's closed. After a long pause. It was once a bustling place. Back when I was young, and so was everyone else. Now what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta, or somewhere else. That's it? What, you're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think. Sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. She drops a bar of soap into the bucket with a splash. And now you know everything there is to know about this coast. I was asked to get... I was allowed to back out of the other one. Aye, what's this about? Come now, I can't read all this scribble. Tell me what it says. Everett wants to turn part of the village into a little youth centre. Ha! She lifts the paper very close to her face and studies it intently. I might be half blind, but it looks like part of the village is going to be a street. The best part. The part we need to get out of our houses. Have you asked Lillian about this? I won't even consider signing until I know she's on board. Well, I have indeed asked Lillian, and she's sort of on board. I wonder if that's a real language, or if they made up a language as well as everything else. I'll have to see the details. The colours, warm and welcoming and cosy though. Aye. Adding the fishing village has added a lot of things to do, but there's some other things that I should... Apparently I get another try on the horseback monument and on the esprit de corps check for... Actually, I wanted to speak to Joyce anyway, now that I have the badge. Alright, I'm going to head back and do that before I carry on exploring the fishing village. I know there's a lot of stuff here that I want to explore, but I've done the most important thing, accidentally. I've stumbled into not having to pay rent anymore, which is great. Would that real life was so naturally rewarding. We'll look at the things later. I'm having trouble convincing myself that I'll be able to, but I will. It's another one. Some of these need to be removed, like the samurai and butter one, because it's just not there anymore. It's interesting that even if you run around everywhere, it still takes a long time to go places. Like real time, not game time. So there's this conflict of resources, you know? Anyway, if the check I was going to make was esprit de corps, then I'm pretty sure I have some good clothes for that, although my current jacket is already giving me esprit de corps. Yeah, I guess I don't really have much for that.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Some more questions about reality. What is... "6 kilometers southwest, in the Valley of Dogs, Junior Officer Chad Tilbrook takes aim at a rabid black dog licking its wounds in the grass. To his left, his partner Emil Mullins whispers, 'You heard what happened at Tequila Sunset in Martinez?' 'Yeah, he lost his mind,' Tilbrook answers, finger on the trigger. 'Don't worry, Emil.' Pulls on it slowly now. 'He'll find it again. We always do.' What am I? You're an officer of the RCM, she says energetically. The Rochelle Citizens Militia. Precisamundo. Good, and what is the Rochelle Citizens Militia? Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol, detective. Yes, the lieutenant steps in. Make a gesture and goes, 'We are the Revachol Citizens Militia.' Are we? We are. You said de facto. Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and to its chagrin. What do you mean? The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer and Aliments Acts, 3 pieces of legislation keeping the city in a, let's be honest, laissez-faire stasis to the benefit of foreign capital. All 3 are good to know, the lieutenant looks up from his notes, when we're out policing. So I'm basically a lackey of capital. There's nothing basic about your role, detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way our seemingly permanent provisional rulers like it. Making it a bit too similar to Everard here, although I guess the game does kind of encourage that. There's a symmetry between the two of them. They're rivals, and they're not so unlike each other after all. Yet on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. Let me tell you, dear, they are not fans of you. You're back. The post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west side of the river. Gang warfare, a botched privatization scheme, a nuclear pile meltdown. They called it the International Zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. The RCM restored peace where the coalition failed. A true blue citizens' initiative. They will never forgive you. That's somewhat of an exaggeration, Lieutenant James. In reality, ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement. Revacholians get to keep the peace in Revachol, and the coalition doesn't have to worry about it. Anyway, sorry to intrude. Please continue. Yes, Lieutenant, permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is the police, the only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol. Thank you, ma'am. And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I'm here to help. What is Cindy the Skull? The girl in the old lady rags? No, I meant something basic. Oh yeah, okay, yes. Looks like a sullen, rebellious member of a teen infraculture. Infraculture? Yes, you and I belong to the superculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags. Pardon me. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It's an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the superculture. I understand everything. Make it more complicated somehow. I can't. That's how simple it is. One may dye their hair green and wear their grandma's coat all they want. Capital has the ability to subsume all critiques into itself. Even those who would critique capital end up reinforcing it instead. Ah, she's doing the Che Guevara t-shirt thing. Except Che Guevara probably didn't exist in this universe. So I could tell her what I found out, but I'm not going to. I found my badge. My love, you did. She inspects the piece of blue plastic, her eyes scanning from left to right. Fast, observantly, like an electronic printer. Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freiter de Bois. I am glad to see a man of high... I'm slipping back into the Everard voice. Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freiter de Bois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious. Seaweed drips in the badge in your hand. It smells of fish. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Gefreiter? How about you share your information on the lynching, now that you've seen his badge? The goalposts have moved, Lieutenant. In the absence of the badge, I have informed my employer there will be a probe. I cannot rescind that promise. To my knowledge, the drivers are still at the roundabout. I will tell you everything I know when you've finished with them. This was your plan all along. She shakes her head vigorously. My plan is to share information. The only way to do that now is by telling my employers you've kept your end, which I hope you will, because let me tell you, we are in dire waters. That's more like it. Which I hope you will, because let me tell you... How bad can the info she has be? The sooner the probe is finished, the sooner I can share crucial information with you. Now, is there anything I can do for you in the meanwhile? Tea, perhaps? Eat shit. This Thatcher knockoff needs to be treated with respect and dignity, as political violence is always wrong. I spoke with the lorryman at the roundabout. Word has travelled, yes, but nothing of real substance has surfaced yet, I gather. Wild Pines has eyes on the intersection, but not ears. Tell me about this strike. Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. Wait, I want to hear about trade secrets. First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade and Elements that gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus. An octopus? I will slay it. Good luck. It's only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own. What the man means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government. But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike. What is your role in this precisely? I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer. And how are the talks going? They are not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2.2 metre racist behemoth blocking the gates. Oh, you mean Measurehead? Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead. She leans back and rolls her eyes. How could you not like Measurehead? Objective terrible taste from Joyce, again. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived. And when did you first arrive? And when did you first arrive? I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM. But the strike began in December. I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations. This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike. That would be what unions are for, Kim. Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive. What happened to this Gaumont? Mr. Clare told him to, how did he put it? She pauses. Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. I know that diplomatically I should not say cool, so I'm not going to, but cool. Not cool, actually not cool. All men are kings. Although I must admit, company-side negotiators against unions would be the bad kind of kings in this extended political analogy that we're assessing. I can probably keep going for another half an hour. As always, short streams of this game because it's so incredibly hard on the voice. Yes, keep in mind this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union. What are their demands? There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker a member of the board. I like it. Then you might also like their other slogan, Demand Democracy. Not hard communist enough for me. Personally, I agree. It lacks the pizzazo of every worker a member of the board. What exactly do they mean by it, though? What's the demand? It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision, about what? About anything, really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. The king is dead. Long live the workers. That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations go, it's not a swell start. What are you going to do? I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now people are getting lynched, I hear, behind the whirling in rags. Disastrous situation if there ever was one. Excuse me, the lieutenant looks up from his notes. From whom did you hear about this lynching? I first heard it from the boy at the gates, the one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was Call Me Mañana. This checks out. This checks out. The scabs at the gate. Did you put them there? The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organised by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least. You wouldn't share it with me anyway. What do you think of Everard? Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first. Really? Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. I'm I might get experience points for saying he's a hero of the workers' movement, but she is correct. He is fantastically corrupt. He's the most corrupt individual I've ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar. Wait, there are two of him? Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. Well, the union itself, outside the Brothers Clare, the Debardiers Union was once a perfectly normal institution, 20 years ago anyway. It must not have been very easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Just a hair. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say... a mob, the lieutenant says simply. The Debardiers are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we're forced to cooperate with them. Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective? If I may ask, I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Debardiers Union is... an effective advocate for the rights of local working men? Why do you think so? I mean, none of these are the actual answer I want to give, presumably because the game couldn't support quite so many options. But one has to admit they've won concessions from 2 strikes in the past, and they were concessions that helped the actual workers. So I can't quite take the position that, you know, their leadership is corrupt, obviously. Terribly, horribly. Pour myself some more water. And good labour men, can't fault them for a little corruption. Ha! A real man of the left. What else can I tell you about? One more thing. You said something happened in the elections. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous foreman of the union. She disappeared. Disappeared? Yes, on the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work, ever. End of story. Eerie. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him. Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine. That's all I need here. Let's change the topic. By the way, I've talked over at Claire. You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare? Finally, time to choose sides! I'm not... I didn't. I'll be honest, I don't like him. He's corrupt, he's awful, he needs to go in the sea, preferably tied to you, except that he's pretty buoyant, so, Oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or, wait, actually... She answers her own question. Corruption, that's how he's done it. Fantastic worm-like corruption reaching into the bowels of the earth. Looks and nods. The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand, the RCM does not pick sides. Of course, and I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I am not a corrupt worm myself. Shows you. However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping. Tell her, she'll like you for it. Fuck off, electrochemistry. Yeah, your disgusting tie agrees completely. Let's gossip. I do want to find out more about that awful racist whose house we broke into. But on the other hand, he asked me to open a door. A referral, you mean? I take it this was someone in the RCM. Don't answer that. No, I mean like a real door to someone's house. Oh my, a real door. The lieutenant does not say anything, but you hear the nylon of his jacket rustle as he looks at you. I probably shouldn't have said that. Oh well. It had to be done. I got information. It was useful to the case. That's good to hear, Detective. Police work is rarely pretty, but it sounds like you did what you had to do. Frankly, what was done was not pretty at all, but neither was it illegal, and it was not for nothing. I advise you to be very selective about what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight. He's right, it may. Everard says the Wild Pines sent mercenaries after the Union. The company did not send mercenaries after the Union. I told you in great detail about the mistakes my side made, and of course I accept them completely. I just hope you don't share Everard's views on things. After all, as he said, one's dead now. Pines certainly hasn't killed any of theirs. Look who's defensive suddenly. That's all I've got to say. Naturally, Detective, there are lighter topics to gossip about. I'd rather discuss something else for now. Of course, Detective, she sims down. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. I have a lot of floating points at the moment. I'm definitely feeling that sort of RPG becoming stronger thing. Arguably I should put some into physical instruments so that I can have more health.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam I'm in.
I might be able to boost conceptualization high enough to get that guy to give stuff up. Although I'm really not convinced that it would solve the problem of getting Joyce to talk to us. Apparently I'm allowed to redo this, so... Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy. In what way? Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy during the anti-centennial revolution, and ended his family line and the monarchy on the Insular Indian Isla. How did he manage to blow through the entire national treasury? Stories have it that he hid his bedroom. Have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armour, and various chalices. He called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers like some obese dragon instead of a bed like a normal person. The man certainly knew how to live. Shut up, Necktie. I feel like the necktie's been talking to me more lately. I might want to put it away before I, flip. A deplorable farce. No wonder everything went to shit. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. The what now? You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. Not just any nose candy, though. We're talking Royal Philippian Blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find nowadays. And purple. Philippian cocaine was purple. This is a lot to process. His Majesty's courtiers says it helped him connect with the higher realms. Was he addicted to a bloated corpse? That's what the revolutionaries said, 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the East Indian Bay. Okay, where is he buried now? Beneath the cold waters of the East Indian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum. A group of marble plurants still surrounds the king's vandalized tomb. A deathly cold wind sweeps up candy wrappers and old newspapers. What happened to the statue? The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition airships during the turn of the century revolution, when Martinez was levelled. He restored the monument. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit. I really don't get art. Neither do people in Martinez. The statue has proved to be controversial in a neighbourhood mostly populated by the left-leaning working class. Philippe III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. The horse is rearing up, which I seem to recall something about that meaning that the person died in battle in real-life statues, but like, how high could I boost conceptualization? Not super mega high, it has to be said. What on earth is Kingdom of Conscience for? It might be a group that just isn't one of the horizontal groups. I should actually equip them and see if anything changes, right? Just memorize this entire layout. Easy peasy. Empathy is now getting +1 from items. I feel like that wasn't the case before. No, that's from the glasses. Okay, I think that just doesn't do anything. I'd rather have the interesting pants for Electrocam. If only I could figure out what Kingdom of Conscience does. And if only everything hadn't warned me that I shouldn't wear the boring trousers because they're boring and stupid. I mean, they are boring and stupid though, like objectively. I feel like I had some other thing for conceptualization.
No, Limbo Man. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I've managed to get it up to an 8% chance. Oof. Oh yeah, I have that alteration to critical successes and failures, don't I? Don't know how that works though. I seem to still have 3% chances on things that I don't have any points in. I heard that one of the drivers is a woman, but I don't think she's here. Do you know this lady driver? It's no Limbo Man. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. Why, do you know something? Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker, and I don't know where she is. I asked you was conducting the drug trade. You said you didn't know. Now you're saying you do. I didn't, man. I told you. I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it. He still is. Hoping. It's just wishful thinking on his part. Not trickery. Yeah, I definitely need more points and stuff. I could put a whole bunch of points into conceptualization. It does seem like one of the ones I would quite like to have be high. I have 5. So I can attempt the poetry, plus 1 point, reattempt, plus 1 point. Only I can only put 1 point in unless I smoke again. I think that's right. Who is this person? What's her name? Thank God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why. Who is she to you? A friend? An acquaintance? I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? What does she look like? A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way. What colour hair? That was chemically what colour hair. Blue and violet. Dyed. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went. When did she leave? Damn, I don't wanna... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person, I know that much. We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation. That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience. It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only. I don't believe you. Believe us. It really is. I just can't, man. I'm not naive. He has tattoos like the victim. Have we asked him about them already? He said he's troubled. How? She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over, and you're looking for a way out. She shared this with you? Yeah, which is why I don't want to snitch on her. I was told everyone's afraid of her. You're not? I heard the rumours. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she talked me too. And she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her, more like for her. Did this violent life include drug trafficking? Well, it looks like it did now, but we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know. She talked about her mind. Well, hold on, her mind? The way it worked, the trouble it was giving her. The pain it was causing her. I had a good voice for pain threshold and I forgot it. When she left, did she leave her lorry behind? Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out. He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. Push Tommy and it will break his heart. And his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals. Now is not a time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son. Thank you, friend. Wow, this makes me feel like I should pick up smoking again. Would help with my rhymes, too. Okay, let's try a few rolls on rhymes. Oof, 4 and 5 failed. You know your best verse? You don't even have a bad verse in here. Just tumbleweed and liquor stains. Wait, no, what are you doing? She broke me, she fucking broke me. That's brutal, man. But, you know, time will... No, stop, he's already mortified. Tell me these are my rhymes, listen to me. Oh god, this is horrible. That's, in the name of God, what are you doing? It's not real, guys, it's not my actual thoughts. Yeah, I get it, these are your rhymes, these are from your life. Doesn't matter if they're robust, they're honest. So thanks, man. Yes, and I also thank you for stopping. You have a drug investigation to return to.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
28% still pretty bad. But I can do one more point after this, I think. I kind of want good conceptualization. Oof, 4 and 4. Good poetry, you have no poetry. This guy has amazing willpower. Honestly, he's the only one of that intellectual bunch I trust.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
Wait. There's something here, stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like... A mirror's temperature is always 0. It is ice in the veins. Its camera is an X-ray. Whoa. He leans in. What else? It is a chalice held out to you in silent communion. Silent communion, that's good. Where gaspingly you partake of a shifting identity never your own. Dang. That's some great shit. You come up with that yourself? Challenging. Did you? I don't really know. No matter. Great verses like that sometimes. Ephemeral. You might not look it, but you seem to have literary chops. Maybe there's hope for me yet. It's a strange compliment. Just messing with you, it's cool. You're an okay guy for a cop. For a cop? They're more often into fists than rhymes, see? Let alone honesty in verse. In a small office behind the old military hospital, hunched under the green glow of his desk light, Officer Hans Blau browses through a test print of his Futurist magazine. It's called The Futurist. The typeface on the header is too small. I mean, 2 and 3 are both like, pretty true. I'm doing what little I can. Well, you've given me some hope, I guess. You found some common ground with this. You found some common ground with... Inland Empire is just incomprehensible. Even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words. Oh, damn it. What if... But I can't go to the mirror because I don't... I have a better place to stay now. But I suppose it might have a mirror as well. Alright, alright. I might... Why does art inspire you so much? It does, yes, but what is art? Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination and technical skill. Additionally, it's history, criticism, and pure enjoyment. In short, this is too much like empathy. Conceptualization art. In short, art is the... No, I don't like slowly because I don't like speaking slowly. In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined. Would I fit into the art world? I mean, have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic with that beard and those clothes. Dishevelled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture too. Is architecture also art? Of course not. It's autism, box drawing, masturbation with a ruler and a sextant or whatever they use. You should demean and criticize the genteel institution of architecture, while extolling the virtues of the pure arts. Wait, what about music? Is it art? Only the most experimental kind. I guess I have been feeling critical lately. Yes, you seek substance, no vapid representations and reproductions of social moires, as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real living art here. Become the art cop, half art critic, half cop. Don't have to be 100% cop to get this case finished. Quit being so indecisive. What are you going for here? Some kind of indecisive and camp aesthetic now? Strike a bold shape here. Go art or go home. Yeah, I'll opt in. It never hurts to gain the thoughts. Exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals of the street. You must also apprehend criminals of the printing press and the gallery, the trite and derivative artists and writers of the world. Go ahead and provide savage criticisms, art cop. The world is yours to rip to pieces and reassemble. Actual art degree. Temporary research bonus. Penalty to perception. Can't even look at this shit. Yeah, it's another copo type. The worst one. The most savage and brutal. The art cop. Nothing is good enough for him. Everything is shit. You have to employ an armada of adjectives to depict and demean the mediocrity of the works and visual institutions around you. Really flex that critical muscle until the vocabulary for punishing mediocrity becomes second nature. Here we go. I'm not hugely big on that. If I'm going to unlock one, I think I'd rather unlock Motorway South. In fact, I might. I have like several points still. I'm nearly done with rigorous self-critique, and having lost the use of following the car, visual calculus is seeming less amazing. There were so many things I needed to do. Maybe I should tell Gart that I'm checking out. Ask if I can get the things from the room. Maybe be a bit of a dick. Which was the one with medicine? Okay, so this costs... Okay, this saves me 20 cents per health. I was also running a bit low on booze, wasn't I? Yeah, I only have one alcohol left. I'm also kind of worried that the old lady's just going to rob me or something. It doesn't tell you how many uses they have, but one assumes that the more I don't know why it's in grey. Can you not buy the same thing more than once? I'm assuming that beer has one use, wine has 4 uses, and vodka has like a dozen uses or something. It must be some large amount or it wouldn't be worth that much money, but I'm going to leave off of it for now. 30 real is quite a lot. And I am already dying rapidly.
I've got nothing to say to you.
Well, piss off then. I desperately wish to go through this door. Does it help to equip the pry bar? I don't think I had that before. No. The mystery of it calls to me.
Can I help you?
You bound my bill for tonight? No. Okay. Stop that guy then. It's not worth spending 20 real to solve the mirror thing. I know for next time, I suppose. I'm pretty sure there is a quote from a real-life poem, isn't it? A mirror's temperature is always 0. Unless it's just from this game, in which case that's probably where I heard it from. I should note that it's nonsense, of course. It's not how physics works. Let's have a look around in here. Lock the shack door with a key. I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangement, just so you know. After we're done with the day, I'll still be staying in the whirling in rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning. Thanks, Kim. As always, he's the best. An excellent, excellent boy. There doesn't seem to be enough space in here for even one person. The waves, the sea, and a church. Mirror. Okay. You can't escape the mirror. Points into encyclopedia to unlock. Hang on, I think I have some other items that improve my electrochemistry. Okay, but they're just other trousers. Oh no, the fingerless gloves. That's one. Actually, why don't I wear the white tank top more? To bulk out my health. That makes a lot more sense, really. I don't think anything else works on Electrocam, apart from obviously getting high as balls. Yeah, okay, let's take a 72% chance at stopping the expression. It's like something snaps in you. A nerve ending, a thought, a sadness. Your face in the mirror is suddenly clean of the leer that had distorted it for God knows how long. Just like that, it's over. The running gag that your life had become. A sad old man looks back at you. It actually changes the portrait. Oof. I'm not in a huge hurry to put points into Encyclopedia because I'm not a nerd. No, it's endurance that makes your health go up. Arguably, I should put points in endurance. Alright, I'll finish these bubbles and then I think we have to call it done for today. Old science fiction magazines, books about bird watching, an almanac from 39. This intricate heat engine hums quietly, giving out pleasant warmth. A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of this shack. Occasionally the waves crawl in under the foundation, producing a low hum. Listen. The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over your ears. Outside it is cold and windy, but you're inside and it feels safe and warm. What is this place to you? My new hangout, where I could silently sit, drink and die while looking at the waves roll in. Behind the half-built cinder block house at the other end of the village there are 3 people drinking. Your new crew. You don't need the old crew, oh no, you have a new crew to get drunk with. You already were a part of their crew once. You can get drunk with them again. You're probably going to hang out there a lot, behind that cinder block house. It's where you belong. No, wait, I changed my mind. I want to choose again. There is no going back. Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves crash against the stilts again. It's as if you think the thought, but in someone else's voice. Look under the floorboards. How afraid should I be? Wash basin. On the table you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin. Is shaving the right call? The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The moustache is gigantic. You'll be looking like a pansy without the chops. A fucking pansy! A fresh start looms ahead. Clean yourself up and be born anew. Hand-eye coordination, eh? Haven't had much use for that, apart from making that amazing shot, which I think was just a critical success, so I'll consider that. Thought complete. Rigorous self-critique. This is taking a lot longer than I thought to finish the stream. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right, these are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you've drowned in neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it. Red check failures heal us. basically according to whether they're mental or physical. And we can increase our pain threshold, but not much more than we could before. Okay. I'm not hugely attached to this one, since I don't like failing red checks to begin with. You can't retry them, but I guess that, like, a lot of failing checks harms your health and morale, so having them heal instead is actually a pretty big deal. Just, you know. I can't actually seem to check under the floorboards. I'm assuming using the bed will go to bed, but I can't, it's not late enough. I guess the best way to check under the floorboards would be to look from outside. Hang on, I'm getting distracted. I said I was going to finish 15 minutes ago. But will I remember? Is there even any way to get down there? Yeah, you can't go over there. So Shiver's told me to look under the floorboards, but I fucking can't. Oh, maybe you need the torch. Okay, I'll try with the torch. Nothing. It's probably just telling me where the old lady keeps her cash anyway, and that's horrible. So we'll head back outside, save and quit. We'll be returning on Wednesday, and until then, good luck and have fun.